You know, in the area I work in, having to do with kids' eyewitness testimony, there was a finding that really shocked me, and that was how if you ask kids, do you remember this ever happening? And suppose you choose something that you know didn't happen, like they went on a hot air balloon ride and they dropped a watermelon from the balloon, or they were ice fishing and they fell in, or they got their finger caught in a mouse trap and they had to go to the hospital to get it taken off, or some crazy fictitious thing. What really shocked me was I would say to kids, using the same techniques therapists would use in therapy, do you remember this ever happening? And the kids were almost perfect. They'd say, no, it never happened. I don't remember that happening. And then I would say, think real hard. Put on your thinking hat and just think real hard. Use your imagination. Do you remember anything about this? And they would sit there and mull it over, and they would say, well, no, not really. So then I'd bring them back a week later, and I'd ask them the same question. Do you remember ever getting your finger caught in a mousetrap? And you know what they'd do? They'd say, you know, there is something familiar about that. I remember something about going to a hospital to get the mousetrap removed. I remember falling in once when my dad took me ice fishing, and you bring back the next week and they elaborate a little bit more, and the next week a little bit more, and 3 months later they're giving me these embellished narratives that have a beginning, a middle, and an end, a complex structure, and they're so persuasive that when I show the videotapes of these kids and what they're saying in the, say, 14th week of this very simple procedure, I show those videotapes to highly trained professionals, judges, prosecutors, child psychiatrists, child psychologists, pediatricians, and I say, I want you to look at this kid, look at his demeanor, listen to what he's saying, and tell me, is it the truth? And they couldn't do it. And that really shocked me. It was just such a simple, think real hard procedure over, like in therapy, week in, week out. And it produced these amazingly embellished but false reports that professionals were fooled by. And it's such a simple procedure.